Everyone, I am Rachel Gillardi and I am sending you this video from Atlanta, Georgia in the US. I am originally though from St. Louis, Missouri, about 8 hours north of where I'm at now, and that is where I started my teaching career. So in August of 2017, right after graduating with my Bachelor's of Secondary Education English, I started working for the Hazelwood School District in Hazelwood, Missouri, and I had 3 amazing years there with the best students. I taught all 4 grades, so I had mixed classes that had freshmen, sophomore, junior, and seniors all in one class. And then upon the pandemic brought us down to Georgia for my partner's job in July of 2020. And then I started working for Gwinnett County Public Schools at a school called Meadow Creek High School for another 3 years. And again, these were classes that had all 4 grades in them, and they were mixed classes. So some of them were ESL students, or as some countries know it to be TESOL or EFL. And then some of them were just irregular American students. I've taught vocabulary comprehension, language development, English grammar, but I've also taught American literature and also British literature. And I am a huge Shakespeare fan. So going on to why I'm choosing the UK, a lot of people are wondering why. Do you want to be stuck on an island that's really cold and kind of cloudy all the time? That's what I keep getting reactions with. And it really does have a deeper meaning for me because my mom's side of the family is actually from England. So my mom is from Wigan. She was born in Wigan, which is, of course, a small town about 30 minutes west of Manchester. And then my grandparents, my mom's parents, my grandmother was from Manchester, and then my grandfather was from Aberdeen, Scotland. So unfortunately, both of my grandparents have passed away, but it was actually one of my grandmother's dreams before she passed away to go back and visit England. And unfortunately, she was not able to do that. And so she kind of, catapulted her dreams onto me, which I was totally fine with, and saying that, she would love for me to experience living in the UK one day and be able to explore more of my heritage and my ancestry that way. So I do have a very close personal connection with the UK, and I think that exploring, the deeper side of my mom's family and her background would be an incredible experience for me. I also have family still over there. So I know once I get over there, I will have an amazing support system. I also have friends in Leicester and Birmingham who I know will help guide me along the way of acclimatizing and getting situated once I get over there. So I am overall more comfortable going over to the UK than any other country in Europe, perhaps. So as far as an inclusive environment for my classroom, I'll kind of give you an idea of what I expect from my classroom and how I set up my classroom and what I expect from my students. So inclusive is my number one word that I love to use. I've worked with students from over 45 different countries, 20 different languages. And so it can get a little bit tricky when you're mixing that many backgrounds and that many cultures. So I always start with a fresh basis of a no tolerance bullying and judgment policy. I make sure that my students know that they can still adhere to their own personal morals and values and still respect one another in the classroom. I also, always want to make sure that regardless of what religion or sexual orientation or behavioral disability or learning disorder that the student might have, that they're welcome and comfortable in my classroom, because I really have worked with them all. And it has been, maybe only 6 years of teaching, but it has been a lifetime of learning experience for an educator. So with that being said, again, my number one priority is to build characteristics in my students. I like to use the phrase that we refer to as CBC. So that's characteristics over content. So in order for your student to be successful in the learning environment and to want to get to know his classmates and to support his classmates, then he or she will need support with whatever they are dealing with and the challenges that they deal with outside of the classroom wall. So you really have to get to the root of the problem and find out where the behavior or the lack of motivation is coming from in a student before you know, build curriculum and build content with them. And you also really have to build that trust and know that, sometimes you're the only consistency that these students have in the classroom. Some of these students don't have consistency out of the classroom. So it's really important to, let students know that you trust them and that, building on that trust and that student-teacher relationship, that they will start to kind of flourish in the classroom. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about myself. I am so eager and excited to hear from prospective administration and schools, and I hope you all are doing well, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.